when they feel the harder ball, they may have some fear for that ball. You go to the stages to get to that.
Correct.
All right? What's so important
Correct.
that is not taught today is gloving the ball with 2 hands. When you have a tennis ball, no glove, you have to glove it with 2 hands. No, you have no other choice but to do with 2 hands. That's basic. All right? When you throw in, you know, the same thing.
Yeah.
I hear your passion on the chat. I hear the people's passion. I will not say it here now. We blame government for some things, Mike. But I can say this. As organizations, we are not accountable for what we do with funds. And after this interview, I can let you know some things that you don't even know about.
Okay.
You see, I say things, I call myself, when they say myself, they really don't know what's going on there. They keep making all these noise, but some things going down that government can give you that kind of money no more. When they giving you a grant and then paying for your national team, and then you won't give me no accountability, what I can give you money for?
Yeah.
Some people have just killed that particular aspect of it.
Wow.
You know? And I agree with them. More should be put into the sports. All right? The facilities need much upgrading. Kudos for the thing down in Andros. But we need an Abaco, we need an Exoma, we need an Eleuthera. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The big cities. To make sure that we get basketball and volleyball back to where it is, you need a park in all those places to be built up. All right? We have persons who want to be president of these federations, but where's the vision for them development along with government? Because we could do some things too, you know. We could do plenty of things that they don't have an IQ what to do. And that's our problem. And some of our greatest problems is we don't facilitate training of persons, like coaches, like umpires, and working with players, national teams. All right? National teams need plenty of work. Like he said, Cuba was at level. You know what Cuba did? Take them off the map for 2 years and then bounce back. But we have to spend money. We sent a team after that in softball, ladies. I told this Grace, I can send a team to be for Olympic qualifying. You can't qualify for CAC games.
Yeah. That doesn't
Come on. What sense does that make?
No sense at all.
I don't care what nobody said. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
No sense at all.
Cut the program for 2 years. Come up with a plan. Come with your coaches. And let's work. But, like we say, Eleuthera is a softball.
I would like to see that happen again. I would like to see that come back.
Yeah.
You know? I'd like to see Lutra really get back to the helm again. Really, you know. Nothing amazed me to see the hustlers. See the hustlers when I was a little boy.
And rock
Hey, who these bad talking fellas is lost
right,
in the
exactly.
softball?
Yeah,
Hitting the softball on the bakery. Hitting it over Dr. Aeneas.
That's right.
Getting it down in a palm tree.
Yes, boy.
You know?
So this party hit some shots, boy.
Who are these guys?
Yeah.
That amazed me. I was no more than 6 years old
That's
and the
right.
ball back.
When
You
see
know?
it, yeah. But it's interesting. It's going to take a whole lot for it to come back. I think the pandemic has created a problem. Even now. We even ain't thinking out the box.
Yeah.
Let's think of the box. Let's approach the common authority. Let's sign up with an insurance company. Everybody pay insurance, and you could get your little antigen test twice a week. Free. Come on. We want to play softball, let's play softball. Or let's get vaccinated. That's your vaccination. You can't play unless you have this or you have that. So if we really want to get serious, let's get serious. It's an expensive, expensive venture, but you can actually get over it. If we play an insurance now for $60 and the man they pay you actually $20 and you can get all these things done, let's do it.
I agree.
You spend $100 on a case of beer, not for your health. And I keep saying that. And there must also be a provision. Are we serious about our health? So let's do the insurance.
Yeah, and I'm guilty of that too, Bobby. In a playoff game down the old timers, collision to the plate, they broke a toe.
Oh, yeah.
And we were going Dominican Republic to see the following week. I was supposed to go get that cast. Bobby, I didn't. I go on to Dominican Republic, had a good time. 10 years later, an amputation of the right leg.
Yeah.
Dry gangrene. Don't be like me.
Yeah. So see all these little things that can happen, you know. And there's so much that involves sports that we don't even understand and appreciate the involvement of things in sports from health to conditioning.
Yeah.
So important. And sports is the biggest avenue to be healthy.
I agree.
The greatest avenue to have fun and to be healthy and to build relationships. But then, as we close, you know, I think sports has a great opportunity. We are moving in the international scenes, in the local scenes. There's some things that we need to do. And I think it needs to come to a confederation, Bahamas Olympic Association, Bahamas government, where we can move toward consolidating ideas. Moving forward with plans for sports itself. And we just hope that each will be able to could work together and get this thing done. There are a lot of things, and we need the facilities also to get things done. And just that no problems. You know, I'm talking about the family habits. Yes, you know, throughout the family habits. And so I hope we can move to that within the next 3 to 5 years. And I think we can see sports explode. Hi there, sports fans. This is Godfrey Burnside. And his roundtable friends, Keith and Mike, talking sports. And we're going to talk softball, we can talk baseball, and a whole lot of sports that you want to know about. So, stay tuned.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, 2 charged for that massive marijuana farm in East End. UB making plans for its fall semester. And the local Christian community will be manning the gates this weekend. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping the news, police taking 2 Grand Bahama men before the court today to answer to the charges connected to the cultivation of a massive marijuana farm in East Grand Bahama. The farm, valued at around $7 million, was discovered earlier this week in bushes not far from the former campus of the University of the Bahamas. The men, 50-year-old Alan Newman of King Neptune Drive and 48-year-old Sean Solomon of Bass Lane, both appearing before Magistrate LaQuay Lang. They pled not guilty to conspiracy to possess dangerous drugs with the intent to supply and cultivation of dangerous drugs. They were both given bail in the amount of $30,000 with 1 or 2 suretors. They are expected to be outfitted with ankle monitoring devices and are to sign into the Central Police Station every Monday before 6 p.m. The matter was adjourned to August 4th. Well, work is progressing steadily on Walker's Key. The 80-acre key sat dormant for almost 20 years, which gave nature the opportunity to replenish itself and flourish. The key's new owners and developers say redevelopment while protecting nature is their top priority. Owners and developers of Walker's Key, Carl and Gigi Allen, say they are looking forward to redeveloping the island, but in an environmentally friendly way. The key sat dormant for years, something Carl says was extremely beneficial for the marine life.
It's been in that natural state that's been there for so long. Our challenge is to bring this island back, but also balance that with the environment. We have a national park out front here that we plan on protecting, probably the first time ever, because they just haven't had the resources to get this far up. And I'm not going to arrest people or fine them, but we do want to bring awareness to it. Allen says based on his past business experience, he is well versed in trash management. He says his goal is to keep the island as trash-free as possible. I'm doing away with diesel as much as I can. We're Texans, so we're bringing in liquid natural gas that's about 80% less emissions, 50% less noise, and about 50% less cost. I'm buying an anaerobic digester, which if people don't know what that is, it's basically a machine that eats trash, organic trash, and basically turns it back into topsoil. So we'll be doing that. We'll recycle when we can, for sure, but there will be a little bit of incineration. We bought a pretty fancy incinerator that, again, thinking about the environment, is there is now the technology where we can attach an apparatus to that we can capture that exhaust and make energy out of it rather than going into the air.
As Walker's Key has long been labeled as a bone fishing mecca, the islands are anticipating reviving that title and welcoming hundreds of fishermen. Carl says in keeping with marine conservation, the islands will produce and sell bait.
One thing I do want to protect is the bait fish, so I think we're gonna grow our own bait fish. There's technology to do that. And so the 12-foot rule, which Mr. Applenap used to have, is try not to kill anything within 12 feet depth-wise around the island. And that is really important when it comes to things like conch and lobster, because this is the lobster nursery out here, as well as conch. And thank God at least now, we're good. The whole northern side here doesn't have a conch problem, and our lobsters are great, and our grouper are in great shape. The reef, even after Dorian, is wonderful.
A young Grand Bahamian couple investing in the local economy. A new coffee shop was recently opened in the Ravens Mall here in Freeport. In this report, the co-owner is sharing more about what the shop has to offer and is also motivating other Grand Bahamians to invest, which he says will assist in restarting the economy. Italia Hall reports.
It's a new addition to the Ravens Mall, Mr. Coffee. The new coffee shop seeks to offer Grand Bahamians a new experience on an international level. Co-owner Tano Mizik says the investment of $50,000 has been in the making for a few months.
One day I came in here and I just say a coffee shop would be nice inside here. So it took me a while to get the spot, because when I came in they said there was no more spots. So I kept on trying until I got the spot. And I told my fiance, Sam, listen, we got to get to work. So we just started working on it. We started, I think it was in March, the ending part of February, March, and we just kept on working, and here we are now with Mr. Coffee.
Some 4 persons are now employed.
They're doing a good job. Today is our first day. They love it. We had a good crowd today, and I'm just optimistic about it, and it's going to get better.
And he says there are a number of options for consumers.
We have bubble teas, which is new to the island, new to Grand Bahama, I would say, which is also a big thing in the States. We have teas, we have milkshakes, we have smoothies and stuff like that. Coffee is a love of mine, so without a doubt, when I saw an opportunity for it, I just jumped on it.
He had this bit of advice for other business owners and for those thinking about entering the world of entrepreneurship.
Don't give up on Grand Bahama, because Grand Bahama is going to bounce back. A lot of people have the funds and scared to invest, and then you never know what's going to be the outcome unless you take a chance. And I took the chance, and I think it's going to be pretty good.
Tano's father, Louis Mizik, commending his son on the new business venture.
And I just want to congratulate him on a beautiful vision that Grand Bahama needs, and that is timely, and that he took it to the cutting edge, and that it has great potentials to expand and to become even a franchise.
Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
The University of the Bahamas North is still trying to rebuild following Hurricane Dorian. The school, which was adversely impacted by the monster storm, has now been hit with another challenge, COVID-19. The pandemic has no doubt changed the way students live and learn. But tonight, the president of the tertiary institution says officials at the university are trying to come to an agreement on what will be the best mode of learning for the upcoming fall semester. Italia Hall has more.
Students at the University of the Bahamas are still taking part in virtual learning due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This method of learning is used to safeguard students from the deadly virus. President of UB North, Dr. Ian Tron, says they are continuing discussions as an academic community about what would be the best form of learning for the fall semester.
We're watching the trends. obviously listening very carefully to what the competent authority is saying, looking at how the Ministry of Education and schools, private as well, have managed COVID-19, looking at our own safety capacity. It's my wish, and I think the wish of management generally, that we bring back some dimension of face-to-face, even if it's in a hybrid form, which many schools have done.
Dr. Strawn says no final decision has been made as yet, and there are some advantages for virtual learning.
Particularly for our Grand Bahamian students, as they've been able to enroll in Nassau classes, and that's kept them at home. And so we'd like to not lose the benefits that we've gotten through the virtual, but add also all the pluses that we know the face-to-face presents. And so I think in a few months, we should have a definite answer on that. But we are watching developments closely, watching the pace of vaccination closely. And really, I know from my own perspective at UB North, committing to really promoting vaccination within our community is something that we're going to be doing more of.
Now, you may remember that the University of the Bahamas Northern Campus in East Grand Bahama was destroyed by Hurricane Dorian. The president says UB North is close to rebuilding a new campus.
This is going to be a big month, I think, in terms of our negotiations and in terms of the board making a final decision. But we are determined to begin to rebuild. Here in downtown Freeport, we just think that's in the strategic best interest of the university. We'll make access easier. We'll make partnerships like this easier, and that would be very beneficial to us. It's taken longer than I would have wanted. I am chomping at the bit, and most of my staff and faculty are also chomping at the bit to be able to know with some level of certainty. I have to say again, we're close, but I believe that soon there'll be some announcement.
It's Talia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Grand Bahama Health Services advising the public of the following schedule for the continued administration of the first and second doses of the COVID-19 vaccine. On Saturday, May 22nd, at the 8 Mile Rock Community Clinic, residents of West End with appointments are asked to report to the 8 Mile Rock Community Clinic. On Thursday, May 27th, vaccinations continue at the High Rock Community Clinic. On Saturday, June 12th, at the Hawksbill Community Clinic. On Friday, June 25th, at the Grand Key Community Clinic. First and second dose COVID-19 vaccinations will continue daily at the Susan J. Wallace Community Center Monday through Friday. Operation hours for the COVID-19 vaccination program at all healthcare facilities are 8 a.m. to 12 noon and 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Persons seeking to receive the first dose and persons eligible to receive the second dose, that is after a minimum of 7 weeks after the first dose, are advised to make their appointments at vax.gov.bs. All vaccine recipients are asked to report to the healthcare facility 15 minutes before their appointment time. Persons experiencing challenges with registration are asked to call 727-8036 or 727-8038 during the operational hours. And stay with us, there's still more news to come.
Come on down. Now. Come on down. Now.
Yes, sir. What you saying, bro?
Man, everything cool. Right here waking dead hot. What you doing for lunch?
You catch me here checking out the ZNS Shopping Network site? I looking at this out to sea deal.
Yeah? How do one go?
For $30, you get a $50 coupon. 20% off fish at the stand, plus you get $10 in minutes.
Man, you can't beat that.
Well, out to sea it is.
Log on to www.znsshoppingnetwork.com. Select the island of your choice and shop anywhere, anytime.
Come on down to World's Wholesale on Queens Highway in the Bamboo East Complex, opposite Yeager Funeral Home, where we sell the highest quality hurricane impact windows, doors, metal roofs, and hurricane shutters at the best prices you can find. Visit our store Monday to Friday.
The Bahamas Institute of Business and Technology transformed my life. It gave me the opportunities that I needed to succeed. I benefited from their affordability and was able to complete my associate's degree on time. Their day, evening, and weekend classes meant that I didn't have to leave home or quit my job to pursue my dreams. Generous scholarships and installment plans made it easy for me to cope financially. BIBT was the right choice for me. Why not make it your choice?
Apply today at BIBTBahamas.com.
They say health is wealth. Well, let's find out. I'm Jamila Mizik, and I'm here to take you on a journey into what it means to have complete wellness.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. As we near the election season, spiritual leaders on the island say if there is ever a time to pray, it is now. This coming Saturday, Christians throughout the length and breadth of the Bahamas will gather in strategic locations to pray. Locally, men and women of the Christian faith will come together to pray for politicians. The initiative is called Manning the Gates. Rumiko Knowles has more.
Pastor of Living Water Assemblies of God, Eddie Victor, says the nation is in need of an intervention from God, and as Bahamians prepare for the general elections, they will be praying for political leaders and those in authority.
We are pleased to announce that this coming Saturday, May 22nd at 7 a.m., we will be manning the gates in Grand Bahama as a part of us coming together with intercessors, pastors, ministers across the Bahamas. On Saturday at 7 a.m., we will be praying in every single constituency in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. We know that we are in an election season and that we need to pray that God's will be manifested in the area of government.
Apostle Tyrone Thomas is in support of the prayer initiative. He, along with Minister Shelley Shepherd, is calling on the Christian community to support the event.
We're inviting all those ratified candidates for the upcoming general election as we pray over the constituencies. We invite you to come on out as we can pray over you also. Like I said, we will be following the government emergencies orders as laid out for us, and we don't expect no more than 10 persons to be out of the vehicle at any given time during this manning the gate procession.
All the saints that will be drawn by manning the gates, sharpen up those spiritual tools. If you can turn down your plate for one day, consecrate yourself, and let's go to war.
Rumiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
It has been an annual Whit Monday holiday tradition, but due to COVID-19, the annual Men's March will take a different course this year. The event, sponsored by Reach Out Ministry, will take the form of a big giveaway on the grounds of the Youth Center on Monday. Leader Dudley Sade says health protocols will be enforced.
Our target goal is to bless 1,000 families on Whit Monday. We start about 10 a.m. right here at the Reach Out Community Center grounds. Because of COVID, we got to do the social distance. We're going to be pop your back trunk and put the grocery items in the back of your car. That session will start at 10, and at 2 p.m., we'll cater to the folks around the community who don't have a vehicle. They'll come here at 2 p.m., and we'll do the same thing. They will have to be 6 feet apart, and we're going to also assist them with grocery items.
The big giveaway is expected to continue on Tuesday as the Reach Out team members plan to visit the sick and shut-in to provide care packages. Sage says they have high expectations and adds that they are still in need of help.
My goal this year is to have over 100 cases of chicken. So I'm still making an appeal out there for folks who want to drop off chicken at their Reach Out Center grounds so families can get it. Normally when people do giveaways, they only do canned goods. But what we're trying to do is give a whole meal. There's a lot of people still here on the island, still in need. So we decided, just to, this is our way on still giving back to the wider community.
It is a day of service for the Church of God of Prophecy worldwide. And here in Grand Bahama, the local churches are expected to take that spirit of service and goodwill well into next week. The Church of God of Prophecy in Hepburn Town kicking things off today, providing a hot breakfast to healthcare workers at the Foster B. Pastina Center. For Pastor Barry Morris, it is just a small token of love and appreciation for those in the medical field for their hard work.
We've gathered here at the Father Pastina Center to be a blessing and to be of service to the nurses here and the staff here, our frontline workers, to give them just a little bit of a breakfast. We have some nice Bahamian chicken sauce with potato bread and Johnny cake and some other little goodies packed for them, because we just want to express to them that we appreciate what they're doing. But of course, it's in line with Matthew 25, where Jesus said to the disciples, "As you have done unto the least of these, my brethren, you've done it unto me." And so in the Church of God of Prophecy, we recognize that service to man is also service to God.
Pastor Keith Palmer of the Church of God of Prophecy taking his day of service to his community in the West, catering to public officers in the various agencies in 8 Mile Rock.
We choose to feed the teachers and the staff at 8 Mile Rock High, and also the police department at the 8 Mile Rock station, and social services. We will be feeding them lunch today, because we want them to know that we value the service and the contribution that they have made and that they continue to make.
Another group of public school students doing well in competition, this time on the international stage. Jay Philippe picks up the story.
Jack Hayward Jr. and St. George's High School participated in the 2021 Caribbean Girls Virtual Techno Creativity Hackathon competition. Hundreds of girls from across the Caribbean took part in the competition, with 99 teams from 14 Caribbean countries. A semi-final group of 40 teams from 10 countries advanced to the finals. The St. George's High School finished in the top 10, and only 4 points separated St. George's from the winning team.
I am just so pleased and proud of our students, our girls that participated in the 2021 Caribbean Girls Hackathon, one of 2 public schools in the Bahamas, and we would have progressed to the final round out of 100 schools, 100 teams across the Caribbean. We would have progressed to the second round.
What a hackathon is about is like a sprint event activity where teams are created and they work collaboratively on solving problems and using technology to do that. Okay, so the young ladies in the Caribbean, the initiative was brought about to empower these young ladies to know that they can dominate the field of technology.
This was literally my forte, so I used that as motivation to continue on with the competition, because it was really stressful on both me and my teammates, because we had to sacrifice our Saturdays and our Sundays.
The topic that we chose was Save Our Seas, the Blue Economy. We chose this topic because at the time they were drilling for oil in the Bahamas. As we know now, where they have drilled, there was no oil found. But we wanted to protect the seas from pollution and save our ocean life for future generations.
Jack Hayward Jr. made an impression on the majority of the judges for their participation.
It gave our girls an opportunity to use their creative and technical skills. We also made history, as we were one of 2 schools in the Bahamas that participated, and this is the first year that schools from the Bahamas was invited to participate.
They came in on the weekends after school to be able to work on it, and their theme was gender-based violence, and they decided to take it from a different perspective. You know, we're always talking about girls in terms of gender violence, but we wanted to look at it from another perspective, and we looked at boys in the violent situation.
At first, we didn't really know what to do, and we were kind of confused. But then, as we went later on into it, we got a grasp of it. But because we have such a close friendship, we was able to like communicate very easily, and we couldn't make up an idea, which was gender-based violence, where we focused on men, like on the male gender. And we just like went based on different abuses, like emotional abuse, physical abuse, neglect is like when you're left out, like the outcast of the group. And the last one was sexual harassment.
Ivan Butler, District Superintendent of Education for Grand Bahama, Bimini and the Keys sending congratulations to the girls and the coaches.
The district is very pleased with the job that these two principals have done, and the majority of our principals for the wonderful job they're doing in the district. You know, recently, Jackie with Junior High School was also involved in a math competition, and the St. George's High School, I think they won the math competition. So wonderful work is happening in our district.
I'm Jay Philippe, ZNS Network News.
And for your Friday evening check on sports, here again is Jay Philippe.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to sports. We've had a lot of successful basketball players that have excelled abroad. Ramad Dean, a former Tabernacle Falcon, might be just the next one. 6'7" forward Ramad Dean returning home from Canada for a quick trip to Grand Bahama. Dean currently attends Crestwood Academy in Canada, following in the footsteps of another former Tabernacle player, Franco Miller Jr. Dean has made an impression on his coaches and has gained national recognition on the Canadian scene.
My first season was kind of like up and down, but like after I got kind of like started playing, I got used to the competition and stuff like that. My experience is like really good. I had like really good games. I'm holding like the Canadian rebounding record for 33 rebounds in a game.
Dean has already received multiple Division I offers.
I have over like 15 university offers. I'll name some like Seton Hall, Ole Miss, University of South California, Texas, and Alabama, and there's like even more. And what they're saying, like they say I've become a great player, and like stuff that I need to work on is like my ball handling and stuff like that. They say I'm a great shooter. I got like rebound. I'm also a player.
His coach, Kevin Clark, is thrilled about Ramad's future.
See the progress from him, from he first came to Tabernacle, the way he is right now is tremendous, you know. Makes me feel like a real father, but also a real proud coach.
Ramad brought along with him his Canadian teammate and top high school Canadian player for the trip.
It's been fun. I had my first time the other day trying conch, and it was amazing. And I just been able to be welcomed into Ramad's family, and I appreciate them for having me.
Switching gears now, Week 5 schedule of Little League Baseball scheduled to play this Saturday at the Emera Baseball Park. At 10 a.m., 2 games will kick off the session. The Predators will take on the Lions in Major League play, and also the Buccaneers will take on the Predators in T-ball. In minor league, the Predators will take on the Lions at 12 p.m. In Coach Pitch, the Predators again will take on the Buccaneers at 12 p.m., and the feature game will be the Legacy Hurricanes going up against the Buccaneers at 1 p.m. in Junior League action. That's a quick check on sports. I'm Jay Philippe. Be blessed.
ZNS Shopping Network is the place for deals. Bahamas, get ready for our national launch coming June 1st, 2021. For the first time ever, any store can advertise their sale items or discounted coupons on ZNS. And you get TV and radio commercials at never-before-seen prices. So if you got stuff and you want to put it on sale, we will tell the entire Bahamas about it. So merchants, log on to ZNSShoppingNetwork.com and click the merchant inquiry button and get started.
Tell me, what are you doing to improve your life?
Since COVID-19 is reading. That's something in itself because it's so fast.
So yeah, it's interesting.
Join me for Direct Talk, live with David G. Weekdays at 11 a.m. on the Bahamas Radio Network.
Are you tired, overweight, having trouble sticking to your health and fitness goals? Well, look no further. The Fitness Connection has teamed up with Z&S to bring you Health Bites. This and every Thursday, tune in, and we'll make sure you get on track and stay on track with your health and fitness goals. Tune in.
Power 104 is back with an all-new feel and a fresh new face. Get ready for new shows and updates on all of the latest trends. This guy gets it. Tune into Power 104.5 FM with your host, that DJ Future.
Did you know that you can get the benefits of timeshare without the burdens of owning one? Finally, you can stay at over 4,000 top timeshare resorts across the globe for as little as $2.99 per week. Seabreeze Vacation Villas and Country Club, located at number 2 Port of Call Drive right here in Freeport, is pleased to introduce benefits without burdens. Visit SeabreezeVacationVillas.com to register for a complimentary breakfast or lunch preview, or call 602-5617 to find out more today.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Andrea Campbell, you are our Facebook friend of the day. We thank you so much for your loyal support. And of course, we here in the North would like to wish a very special happy birthday to our amazing Deputy Director of News, Natalie Martinborough, who will be celebrating tomorrow. Hope you have an amazing day. That's going to do it for us here in the North, but be sure to stay tuned as the Bahamas Tonight continues. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Megan Shepherd. Have a wonderful weekend.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, new emergency orders ahead of the holiday weekend. COVID cases and deaths continue. The Bahamas to begin collecting air fees before summer's end. And a murder accused faces a magistrate. Those stories and more when the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, returns.
Let's stay COVID-free. Remember the 3 S's. Sanitize, social distance, and stay inside.
This portion of the news brought to you by BTC's Dollar Holla Deals.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Akush Lapindo. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for joining us. No free-for-all for Bullocks Harbor and Great Harbor Key residents, and that's the case for the next 2 weeks. In a bid to slow and control the spread of the COVID-19 virus in those communities, the competent authorities imposed a 14-day lockdown beginning Saturday at 8 p.m. And here's how far those restrictions stretch. Travel to and from Bullocks Harbor and Great Harbor Key is prohibited except in the case of essential workers. That includes the police, defense, healthcare professionals, mailboat operators, or as otherwise approved by the competent authority. There will be no in-person activities. Every agency, business, or establishment will remain closed except for the police and defense forces, the community clinic, and COVID-19 vaccination sites. No one other than an essential worker is permitted to leave home unless it's for urgent medical attention or on prescribed days to purchase food, water, and other essential items. Only the administrator or a designee is permitted to distribute food and water on behalf of the government or the National Food Distribution Task Force, which has organized a vessel to deliver adequate food and water supplies. Weather permitting, that vessel is expected to arrive on Sunday, May 23rd. Food stores will be permitted to offload supplies, restock, and provide services to the public during the 2 days immediately following the arrival of the MV Girth-Dean millboat. Meantime, health officials are monitoring the progress of the virus on Cat Island and Andros, where outbreaks are also occurring. Surveillance and vaccination teams have also been deployed. For those of you traveling to and from Cat Island and Andros, it's required that you have a negative RT-PCR test no greater than 5 days before the date of travel. It's either this or provide documentation to prove full vaccination. In all this, there is good news for Andros residents who were concerned about crabbing during the new restricted curfew of 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. The competent authority has given the go-ahead for the harvesting of crab during the curfew hours. Now, we spoke with a member of Parliament for North Andros and the Berry Islands, Carlton Bullock Jr., who says his constituents welcome the new restrictions.
We've had someone in the Berries, in particular my cousin, who had passed away about a week ago, and it was a concern. So I think people were well aware that it could have been a situation that needed to be under control based on residents who have given me a call, and we're going to get through it. A lot of people weren't wearing masks, and we had a lot of gatherings in place, and this is the one thing that we don't want to happen around there is that we have large crowds and activity that can cause a outbreak. And you have people who are relaxed, and you have people who are asymptomatic that can be carrying the virus and spreading it. And that's what we had around there. But now, even on Andros, the people were crying for something to be done. And, the residents over there are accepting it, and they are happy that some measures like this is taking place because of them knowing what was taking place on the island previously for this to happen.
Now, this holiday weekend won't be an open season for entertainment. Here's what will happen. Bars, indoor cinemas, nightclubs, and cultural entertainment facilities are not permitted to operate. Also not allowed regattas, festivals, fairs, play or performance art, or other cultural entertainment events. Spas, craft or straw market vendors and jet ski operators cannot conduct business either. A release from the Office of the Prime Minister explaining that specific facilities and businesses, including certain cinemas with prior permission to operate, may continue to do so. Only drive-through cookouts are permitted with no alcohol sales. This applies to second schedule islands that, along with the capital, include Rose and Paradise Islands, Great and Little Exuma, mainland Eleuthera, Harbor Island, and Abaco, excluding Green Turtle, Grand, Manawa, and Elbow Keys. Restaurants in Eleuthera and Exuma are allowed to operate from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m., offering curbside delivery, takeout, outdoor and indoor dining to the fully vaccinated who must show proof. As indicated, the 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. curfew is also now in effect for the Berry Islands, Andros and Cat Island. Businesses on those islands then are allowed to operate between 6 a.m. and 7 p.m. Dismissing rumors circulated on social media platforms about their facility closing this weekend was Fusion Superplex's Chief Legal Officer, Tokoyo Bridgewater. Fusion's co-founder says the multi-entertainment facility will benefit greatly from the recent amendments to the emergency order.
The emergency orders, Clause 53, allowed for the application to the competent authority for businesses who can show that they have implemented the necessary COVID protocols, can protect their customers, can protect their employees from the spread of the COVID-19 virus, in those circumstances, may be able to operate under certain restrictions. Fusion Superplex applied for this exemption, and we received it back in February 2020. 2021, whereas we are allowed to operate at a 33% capacity for our standard cinemas, as well as the 100% capacity for our VIP cinemas, and we are allowed to, of course, operate our outdoor bar. So the social media post and what is going around right now is something that has already been within the COVID-19 emergency order.
Bridgewater admits, though, that the COVID-19 pandemic has taken a toll on the company and deeply impacted its bottom line.
The pandemic has been detrimental to the existence of Fusion Superplex as an entertainment and family facility. I mean, it has been detrimental to most entertainment businesses globally because we were unable to produce revenue. We were not viewed as an essential service. Thereby, we were shut down. This affected our bottom line. It affected our customers, as well as it affected our employees because we were unable to provide a place of work. But I want you to also take into consideration the pandemic affected our bottom line because it impacted our inventory. Most of the items that we had at the beginning of 2020 either spoiled or expired. So we lost at least $1 million in inventory. And take into consideration the fact that we still need to keep the lights on, we still need to keep our freezers on, we still need to protect our investment, our projectors. So we cannot just turn the key, cut off the lights, and walk away.
Meantime, Gallery is sticking with its May 18th exemption to continue operations. That means the holiday weekend will find the cinema open. And to ensure the continued safety of its patrons, Galleria plans to operate at 1/3 occupancy and have staggered showings, allowing for the full sanitization of theaters following each film. As has been the case over this past year, social distancing protocols include mask wearing. Meantime, hand sanitization will continue to be enforced. Well, a look at the numbers shows the Bahamas inching closer to the 11,500 COVID cases, following another 54 overnight, along with 2 additional deaths. 50 of those new cases right here in the capital, with another 3 on Andros and 1 on Grand Bahama, for a grand total now of 11,450 cases. One of the newly infected, a New Providence resident, has a history of travel within 14 days. Of the 50 people in hospital, 4 are in the intensive care unit. Unfortunately, as noted, another 2 people succumbed to the virus. Health officials have confirmed the deaths of a 62-year-old New Providence man on Monday and a 50-year-old New Providence woman 3 days later on the 20th. That toll now at 224. This in the face of 899 active cases and 29 recoveries on Thursday. Thursday's dashboard also reflecting that 411 tests that day, 9 of them repeats, another 9 of them with inconclusive results. Well, as more countries and destinations require proof of fully COVID-19 vaccinated passengers, American Airlines is working with mobile health partner Verifly to help customers verify they are vaccinated and ready to travel before even stepping foot in an airport. Customers using the Verifly app now have the option to securely upload their vaccine documentation for travel to the Bahamas, El Salvador, and Guatemala. Customers can upload a photo of both sides of their COVID-19 vaccine record into the app, and the Verifly team will review that all documentation meets the destination requirements. Still to come, a prominent businessman becomes the newest member of the diplomatic corps, and a 24-year-old man charged with a double murder. Those stories and more when the National Report continues.
And remember to tune in to the Morning Edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour, starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch live at 5 with Amajon Knowles, followed by the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, at 6:30, and the National Report live at 7 p.m., all right here on the ZNS Network.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
You
have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you are trying to accomplish.
I can need a little help with this.
We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
The $20 combo, unlimited talk, yo, to every network you know. Across the Bahamas, I got 6 gigs of data, plus unlimited cha-cha. It's a scroll over too. Now let me check my people on Facebook and WhatsApp. BTC is where it's at. I rock my combo.
Your BTC 10-day combo is now only $20 and is supersized with a new low price.
BTC, do it again.
You know that feeling you get when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC. A substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of our secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Just call him High Commissioner. The government announcing the appointment of prominent businessman and philanthropist Sebastian Bastian as the country's non-resident High Commissioner to South Africa. Bastian has a number of successful business ventures that include chairman of Wise Technologies, Verizon Media, and the Brickell Management Groups, as well as CEO of Playtech Systems Limited. A Ministry of Foreign Affairs statement acknowledging that as a recognized pioneer and innovator in the world of business, technology, media, telecommunications, gaming, real estate, and construction industries, High Commissioner designate Bastian is passionate about philanthropy, especially as it relates to inspiring and supporting local entrepreneurs to advance national economic and sustainable development. Foreign Affairs officials say Bastian's understanding of global economic dynamics and national development will no doubt benefit all Bahamians. Bastian is expected to present his letters of credence to the President of South Africa at a later date. The Department of Statistics releasing the latest gross domestic product numbers, and 2020 annual estimates show that economic activity in the Bahamas contracted sharply by 24.7% in nominal terms and by 14.5% in real terms. This, of course, due to the COVID-19 pandemic adversely impacting movement and the level of business activity. The total value of goods and services produced in the Bahamian economy was estimated at $9.9 billion in current prices and $9.6 billion in real prices. GDP's production approach, which is based on the gross value added by industries, showed a decrease across all industries, with the exception of financial and insurance activities. The industries most severely impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, with strong year-over-year declines, were accommodation and food services amid the sudden stop in tourism activity, travel restrictions and border closures, transportation and storage, wholesale, retail trade, motor vehicle repairs, and administrative and support services. When it comes to expenditure, there was negative real growth last year of an estimated 14.5% due to declines in general government and household consumption, as well as imports and exports of goods and services. Well, now that the multi-million-dollar agreement has been signed, many are wondering when the Bahamas will start collecting fees for use of its airspace. Well, according to Tourism and Aviation Minister, the Honorable Dionisio de Aguilar, the first steps for the Bahamas to first receive information from the Federal Aviation Administration.
The FAA will gather that information during May. They'll give it to us by the end of June. We'll send it on to IATA, which is the organization which collects all these fees on our behalf. And certainly by the middle of July, we should begin to start to receive some of the overflight fees and the usage of fees associated with the using of our airspace.
The minister reiterating, though, that the necessary infrastructure has to also be put in place to actually collect the fees.
Now that we've got a deal concretized, we will start to enhance our IT technology to facilitate the collection of those fees, certainly domestically. Those that fly overflight the FAA will collect that data for us. And we have to finalize one other agreement is with the Cubans, because remember, they manage or provide air traffic control services in 25% of our sovereign airspace.
Well, also making national news this Friday, changes to parcel distribution has families earning more needed resources as the National Food Distribution Task Force continues to feed thousands of Bahamians. The executive director of the Bahamas Feeding Network telling our Cleopatra Murphy that it's the generosity of Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines that made it all possible.
I'm a nail tap, but you know, business is a little slow, and it was a great help to me and my family.
Mother of three, Melissa Ramming, just one of thousands of Bahamians who have benefited from food supplies through the Bahamas Feeding Network and, by extension, the National Food Distribution Task Force, amid hard times spurred on by the COVID-19 pandemic. Some 1,200 families were serviced at its latest distribution at the Church of God Auditorium, Joe Farrington Road, Friday, as the Feeding Network dispersed some of the $1.5 million in meat recently donated by Royal Caribbean Cruise Line.
In the meat parcels, we have chicken, we have ham, we have beef patties, we have bacon, and we have sausage. So it's 5 items. Like I said, the value of that is $46. So each individual will receive $21 more than they were receiving in the past. These parcels, what we do, we give a voucher to everyone that comes today, and then they go and they can collect the parcels from Bahamas International Foods just off Marathon Road.
The Bahamas Feeding Network's executive director, Philip Smith, says because they are able to substitute the $25 meat vouchers previously given out, it leads to cost savings and more families being helped.
That comes to $109,975. Okay, that's the saving, every distribution, $109,975. So as a result, we are able to assist 2,199 more persons.
Residents Audley Jolly and Celia Larac have both been collecting food parcels for the last few months, and they say they are thankful.
This epidemic has touched everybody in this world. And if you be a kind of person, if you're proud, you got trouble.
It's helping a lot. Because I'm retired now and I have no job, but there's only one person in the house working. So it was very good. I appreciate it very much.
Smith says the feeding initiative has been a lifeline for many families confronting hunger daily. His hope is that the partnership with government through the National Food Distribution Task Force continues beyond June. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Well, now for news from the courts. A man accused of the brutal slaying of 2 and the attempted murder of 2 others arraigned in the magistrate's court on Thursday. 24-year-old Dominique Roll now facing 2 counts of murder and another 2 of attempted murder for his alleged role in the Friday shooting incident on 3rd Street, The Grove. Prosecutors allege that Roll is one of the men responsible for shooting 4 men standing outside a home on May 19th. The ambush resulting in the death of Lavon Dawkins and Akeem Kimi Davis, hospitalizing Shaquem Campbell and Deshaun Rogers in the process. The accused was denied bail and not required to enter a plea. He will remain on remand at the Bahamas Department of Corrections until service of a voluntary bill of indictment on August 17th. Dwayne Davis also tonight on remand after being formally arraigned for murder. His charge, the Saturday, May 15th killing of DeAndre Knowles. Knowles' bullet-riddled body was found in a vacant lot on Grand Street, Fox Hill early that morning. He was pronounced dead on the scene. Police apparently have gathered sufficient evidence to charge 28-year-old Davis with the crime. The Burnett Road resident, who also answers to Gup Gup, was not required to enter a plea to the charge. He's due back in court on August 19th for a voluntary bill of indictment. Davis appeared before Chief Magistrate Joanne Ferguson Pratt. 10 witnesses appear on the docket, among them 9 police officers. We'll talk about putting your hands to good use. The men of the Defense Forces Entry 24 did just that when they assisted an inner-city New Providence resident with renovations to her home. Chief Petty Officer Mario Ferguson was approached by friends of longtime Step Street Foxhill resident Dora Saunders, whose home needed urgent TLC. Entry 24 used the opportunity to commemorate their 32nd anniversary and make a valuable contribution to the community. With their technical skills, the men took about 10 days between May 5th and 15th to replace the windows and doors in damaged sheetrock, connected plumbing and water supply to the septic tank. They also primed and painted interior and exterior walls, laid tiles throughout the house, and thoroughly cleaned the bathroom and other rooms.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today.
Hey, it's Charlie Bahama, and we are here at the vaccination site asking people to tell us their vaccination story.
Well, I think we have to move forward. I think this is a way to protect not just myself, but my family. And I want to be an example to my children especially, and my wife who's right behind you. And so I thought it was necessary to have this done today.
I am a patient who was diagnosed 5 years ago with pulmonary fibrosis, and I'm in and out of hospital with asthma and what have you. And I just prayed and I asked my doctor I consult, and he told me to go ahead and take it. It would not prevent me from COVID, but in case if I should get it, I would not become so ill. So I move forward on faith, knowing that all is well, and I had it done.
You watch them grow and make plans for them even before they're old enough to talk. You spend a lifetime of sacrifice to pave the way for their success and create a tomorrow you too can be proud of. Can you tell who is the investor? At Leno, we believe everyone who has ever put a penny aside for a future dream is an investor. If you're new to investing, Leno's financial experts stand ready to design plans based on your goals. Let's sit down and explore the options one-on-one and see how, together, we can make your dreams come true. Whether considering traditional investments like a new home, car, your own business, security in retirement, or your child's college fund, we take the confusion out of the process and make an investor out of you. Call 396-3225 for an appointment. Leno, your bridge to the future.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Save each day in May at your favorite Super Value and Quality supermarkets. Libby Spaghetti and Meatballs, 14.5-ounce can, $1.39. Hunt Ketchup, 32-ounce jar, $2.39. Sweet Mangoes, 2 for $3. Premium boneless strip steaks, $7.99 per pound. Devon Corned Beef, 12-ounce can, 2 for $5. Super Value Winton open Sundays 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Super Value Cable Beach open Sundays 7 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
The Royal Bahamas Police Force's Urban Renewal Division partnering today with officials of New Bethany Baptist Church to hold a Give Back initiative. Food, clothes, shoes, and toiletries were given to fire victims of Jenny Street and Fritz Lane, whose lives changed after that massive fire several weeks ago. Assistant Superintendent Frankie May Mather boasted of the division's push to work tirelessly to bring relief to these residents.
We, the officers of Urban Renewal Division of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, is here today to show our love to the victims, the fire victims of Jenny Street and Fritz Lane, by donating to them during this time of relief. Our small appreciation of these gifts that you see here today.
New Bethany Baptist Church's pastor, Bishop Victor Cooper, pledged his church's assistance to assist these victims mentally and emotionally.
As a church, we have our doors open to assist those who are in need of any mental help that they may have. Our doors are open to assist them in that regard. Additionally, we're thinking of setting up an account so that we could assist in the building program. This is a long-term effort, and we're going to be opening an account shortly, and so that people can give towards that initiative, but we're approaching it from a short-term, medium, and long-term approach.
The next big wave of young Bahamian environmentalists is on the rise. This is the Bahamas Reef Environmental Educational Foundation, or BREEF, honors 4 new high school graduates with the Bahamas Environmental Stewards Scholarship. Thanks to the scholarship, aka BASS, Theodore Moss from New Providence, along with Heather Brockbank, Isabel Petty, and Promise Russell from Grand Bahama, are on their way to study at Eleutheris Island School. The semester-long free ride is a long-time collaboration between BREEF and the Island School, set on propelling young environmentalists to a future in sustainable careers. After the students are done studying at the Cape Eleuthera School, there awaits a 4-month-long paid internship with BREEF, the One Eleuthera Foundation, or IDARE Relief.
What we found is that students who had already got involved in community service activities, who had taken part in volunteer activities, leadership activities through their church, or through the Waterkeepers Cadets Program, or through the Royal Bahamas Police Force Cadet Program, for example, were really well prepared to be successful applicants. So we encourage all young people to get involved.
In addition to the 4 scholars, Brianna Brown from St. George's on Grand Bahama and Ariana Goldborn from St. Anne's also received a full scholarship to Island School's 4-week summer program. Current BEST scholar and BREEF intern Antonia Ferguson shares her experience.
I just came back from the Island School. It was honestly the best experience I've ever had. I went scuba diving with sharks. I was in a green turtle research group. I learned so much about how to conserve different species, waste management, and I got to meet a lot of different people and gain a lot of knowledge.
Well, students at Uriah McPhee Primary chasing professional careers at a young age. As our Anthony Smith tells us, these students can now add artist to their resumes.
I declare this exhibition open.
The most famous names in art are now hanging on the walls of the Diaghilar Art Foundation.
My creative project was designed with small wood pieces, a very sharp drill, a sticky lead pencil, and sprayed with white, blue, and green paint.
Projects so riveting and names so obscure, you've probably never heard of these artists. Well, it's because they're from an underground scene, a collective of more than 50 strong who've been hailed as absolutely creative. These stunning pieces, ladies and gentlemen, done by the students of Uriah McPhee Primary.
Approximately 626 students were given the task to create a marine animal that is found in the coral reef ecosystem. All projects were displayed in the school's auditorium.
The standouts ending up at the Virginia Street Gallery, much to the insistence of the school's patron, Saskia Diaghilar.
So we wanted to add some creativity back starting at a very young age. And what better school than Uriah McPhee?
The exhibition, titled Preserving Our Coral Reefs, taking a look at ocean sustainability from the perspective of bright young minds. The abstract sculptures of turtles, starfish, and groupers already receiving some rave reviews from the exhibition's first visitors.
We want you to be encouraged. And so I'm very, very pleased to be here to see that you're taking responsibility on the environment end.
And here we have, in this, so to speak, desert, the oasis of excellence and commitment and dedication in our young people.
And the gallery will open to the public next week for anyone wanting to take a look at these stunning pieces. Antoinette Smith, ZNS Network News.
With some 400 entries and 800 participants over 10 islands, the 2021 Digital E. Clement Bethel National Arts Festival adjudications is underway. You can watch the students on the festival's Facebook page. Senior Cultural Affairs Officer responsible for the festival, Synovia Pierre, says the opportunity affords students and the community to express their artistic talents despite the current situation. And while some teachers had opted not to participate this year due to online challenges on some islands, Pierre says the students are encouraged by getting the chance to showcase their abilities on the national stage. Port-of-Ski vendors taking matters into their own hands by holding a stakeout tomorrow in hopes of generating enough funds to assist the 8 Port-of-Ski dock vendors whose businesses were destroyed during that recent fire. Bahamas Dock Allied and Vendors Association President Wendy Constantine.
In this environment right now, it's hard to find a job. So it's imperative. We were just calling on Bahamians to be their brothers and sisters keeper and come out and support the event. Okay. Also like to thank Sans Bear, who's standing with us, Coca-Cola, NASA Paper Company, and also the Minister for Freetown, Minister Diagler. Okay. Those persons are helping to ensure that this stakeout is a success. And I want to thank especially all of the union affiliates who are standing in solidarity with us to ensure that this stakeout is successful for the vendors, and it will be in the strictest COVID environment. Okay. We're asking all corporate Bahamas and just the community to get involved.
Bahamas Electrical Workers Union Representative Carl Wilson feels financial support from the public is key.
Fortunate what took place, but we have to help each other, especially in this time and in this season, help build lives, build people, and put back into the people who have been putting into the economy. These people are these are employers. Yes. These are employers, they employ people. And so there are persons who are waiting on these places to be rebuilt, they're looking for employment. So even from the Bahamas Electrical Workers Union, that's what I'm here to represent, that we ourselves are going to give a tangible donation as well as encourage our members to purchase tickets to come out here and support these vendors in rebuilding their lives.
Oh, well, do you know what's on your Christian calendar? Well, the morning team canvassed several hot spots around town to find out what Bahamians know about the Whit Monday holiday and its significance.
Whit Monday to me is a religious event that happens every year, I guess.
A public holiday.
Public holiday for what?
I don't know, Mom.
Based on my religious limited knowledge, Whit Monday would be, I think, a 60 or 90 days ascension from Christ's ascension after his resurrection.
I can't remember.
What is Whit Monday? It is the religious holiday that coincides with Whit Sunday, I think it's called. But yeah, I think it has to do with the day of Pentecost.
Well, Whit Monday would be 50 days after Pentecost. Okay, it's a religious holiday. Okay, we respect that day. We honor the fact that when Christ been ascended up into the heavens, right? Pentecost, 50 days before Pentecost.
Whit Monday, that's another day off. That's another working day. That's all. For me.
It's another day off for you?
No, really, it's a work day.
I don't know what that is. Whit Monday is a holiday, right? But what is it for? Is it something religious? I think it's something religious. I think it is. I'm not sure, but it's something religious because I've been to church a lot. My grandma take me to church a lot, so I know it's something religious.
Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Mario thought he could have his cake and eat it too. He almost found out the hard way that if you don't insure your home for the full replacement value, when it comes time to make a claim, you won't get the full payout. It's called the condition of average. If your $200,000 home is destroyed by a hurricane, but you only insured it for $100,000, half the value, you'll only get half of that $100,000 payout. Actually, less than that, because there's also a deductible, which will be deducted from your payout. Check your home insurance policy for the condition of average clause and ask your insurance agent or broker how condition of average would affect you. This message was brought to you by the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas, protecting the interest.
Everything is changing, and your favorite hardware and home improvement store is getting with the program. We Buy You Sell is rolling out its new online shopping feature. If you go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, it's a quick and easy 3-step process. Step 1, browse the gallery and select your item. Step 2, add to cart. And Step 3, check out. Go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, to shop with us today.
That's why we got the... There's a pandemic going around. We have to work hard to stay around. Keep yourself and your family safe. And thank God for amazing grace. There's a solution you must choose. It will help me and help you too. It's available everywhere. Don't take too long, I'll meet you there. I got mine, you get yours. Get vaccinated. I got mine, you get yours. Get vaccinated. It's protecting me, protecting you. It's protecting the country too. I got mine, you get yours. Get vaccinated. I got mine, you get yours. Get vaccinated. I got mine, you get yours. Get vaccinated. It's protecting me, protecting you. It's protecting the country too. I got mine, you get yours. Get vaccinated.
Make your appointment today at vax.gov.bs. That's vax.gov.bs. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in conjunction with Bahamas Information Services.
ZNS Shopping Network is the place for deals. Bahamas, get ready for our national launch coming June 1st, 2021. For the first time ever, any store can advertise their sale items or discounted coupons on ZNS. And you get TV and radio commercials at never-before-seen prices. So if you got stuff and you want to put it on sale, we will tell the entire Bahamas about it. So merchants, log on to ZNSShoppingNetwork.com and click the Merchant Inquiry button and get started.
The Ministry of Health wishes to advise members of the public that prevention is key during this flu season. Practicing good cough hygiene can make the difference between you and your loved ones getting the flu or spreading the influenza virus. Good cough hygiene habits include covering your mouth and nose with a tissue when coughing or sneezing, and proper disposal of the tissue in a trash bin. Coughing or sneezing into your upper sleeve near your inner elbow and not your hands when a tissue is not available. Avoiding the use of handkerchiefs and towels as they hold germs, becoming a nest for the virus. And frequently washing your hands with soap and water, which is listed as one of the most important steps you can take to avoid getting sick and passing the virus on to others. If you have any questions about how to practice good cough hygiene to avoid catching or spreading the flu, contact your nearest community clinic or the Health Education Division at the Ministry of Health. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
In this age of spin, when so much information is suspect, people are searching for information they can trust. The answer? A closer look.
We made tremendous progress with respect to reducing the deficit.
The fact that there will be more infections suggests that there could be more deaths.
But if it is more transmissible, and those strains are all more transmissible, then it means that more people will get infected, more people will have symptomatic disease.
Something about metering.
You're not going to be able to owe BPL $10,000, $20,000.
That situation is in order now, eh?
As you load up that meter, you can use your power.
We in essence have done something with a health travel visa that's going to help our tourism product.
A closer look with Anthony Newbold, where you get the facts you can believe in. Mondays at 8 p.m. and Wednesdays at 9 a.m. right here on the ZNS Television Network.
He admits it may sound harsh, but when asked, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Public Works, the Honourable Desmond Bannister, candidly told reporters it's not his responsibility to take care of shantytown residents once their homes have been demolished, an exercise that continued over in Abaco this past weekend.
But when they went out there and built in direct contravention of the law, they knew or ought to have known that they were breaching the law of the Bahamas. They've gotten notices now for more than 28 days, and they've done nothing. It's very important for them to utilize their resources, whatever resources they had to build the house in the first place. They could have applied in accordance with the law, gotten permits, and be able to lawfully construct something just the way any of you all would do.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Basil, hit us with some good news for the weekend.
Well, I'm going to start you off with some pre-tropical cyclone activity. We're watching two of them, one to the north and east of Bermuda, and then there's a second one in the western Gulf of Mexico. The good news here is that none of them poses any threat to the Bahamas. But outside of our studios, we are under partly sunny skies, temperature at 79 degrees, relative humidity 64%, easterly winds at 15 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,021.4 millibars, that's 30.15 inches. And the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the islands this evening, well, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 79s in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Grand Torquay. Marshall Babico at 77, 79 in the Berry Islands. Bimini right there around 78 degrees. We're picking up 78 in Harbor Island. Rock Sound, Eleuthera, 76, 79 degrees, and Fresh Creek, Central Lounge. 77s in Artistown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rum Key, Georgetown, Exuma, 79 degrees, 79 also in Rygat Island, Clarenstown, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, Acklands, Matthew-Town, Nagua, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 78 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. For all areas tonight through tomorrow, which is Saturday, the winds are going to be northeast to east, speeds at 15 to 20 knots, wave heights 4 to 7 feet. So caution flags will be in place throughout the 700 islands tonight through Saturday. Low tide tonight will take place at 10:29. You can expect another low tide in the morning at 10:56. And as we roll you into Sunday, the winds fall off quite nicely. Easterly flow at 10 to 15 knots. This is on Sunday, by the way. Wave heights down 2 to 4 feet. So we're back to normal boating conditions. Low tide would take place at 11:47 in the morning. High tide would take place at 6:07 in the afternoon. And the central and southeastern islands, winds also reducing. East to southeast, 12 to 18 knots. So those advisories will be dropped down to a caution flag for the central and southeastern islands on Sunday. Wave heights 3 to 6 feet with a moderate chop. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures. And they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. That's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still.
When you want to save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you want to look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything. combo. Unlimited talk, yo, to every network you know. Across the Bahamas, I got 6 gigs of data, plus unlimited chat. It's a roll over too. Now let me check my people on Facebook and WhatsApp. BTC is where it's at. I rock my combo.
Your BTC 10-day combo is now only $20 and is supersized with a new low price.
BTC, do it again. We can go to Inagua, see the flamingos, get to Exuma, show you all the tingo, juicy pineapples, the taste of Ilutra, nothing but happiness in our future.
It's early morning here in Roll Town, Exuma, and the sun is just popping up over the horizon. Today, I'm so excited about what's in store for me because I'm with Bonefish Reno. Yay! Oh!
Okay, hold it right there.
Oh!
During this pandemic, it is our duty to ensure that all citizens, residents, and visitors are adhering to the COVID-19 safety protocol. Restaurants may operate utilizing curbside pickup, drive-through, takeaway, or delivery. Any establishment who allows the entry of any person not wearing a mask is liable upon a summary conviction to a fine of $500. I am Ambassador Ashanti Ruko of the COVID-19 Enforcement Unit. Save a life that may be your own.
This message brought to you by the Ministry of National Security in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
It's like a truly Bahamian beer. Hey, too much drinking, Ilutra drinking, Long Island drinking, I'm just drinking, Nassau drinking, hey, Cat Island drinking, Bahama drinking, Harbor Cold drinking, a taste that is fresh.
Available at Jimmy's Liquor Stores or your favorite restaurants and liquor stores throughout the Bahamas.
New year, new time. Watch Conversations with Christ every Sunday at 10 a.m. And I'll tell you why. Because God said 1,000 years is like a day for me. And that's why you could have a thief on the cross pray for just a few seconds and get forever, and get forgiveness, and get eternity. So every single Sunday for 30 minutes, we're going to praise God together. So every Sunday at 10 a.m., Conversations with Christ.
We play just like your kids. We text just like your kids. We learn. We even cook. We take selfies. We have hobbies. And we love sports. In every way, we are just like everyone else and enjoy the same things and live our lives every day, just like you do. So if you happen to meet us, treat us just like everyone else. Because at the end of the day, we're just like you. Living life with Down syndrome is simply living. To learn more about Down syndrome, call 727-2105. This message is brought to you by the Grand Bahama Down Syndrome Society.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
The Indiana Tech Warriors season coming to an end yesterday at the NAIA Baseball National Championship. One win away from a berth in the World Series, the Warriors fell 12-4 to Oklahoma Wesleyan. Ashton Moxie was 0-5, while Yeshua Saint finished up 0-4. Saint led the Warriors in batting average this season, hitting .405. He also had 9 home runs and 37 RBIs. For the season, Moxie hit 254 with 2 home runs and 16 RBIs. Indiana Tech also making it to the NAIA Women's Tennis Championship, but they lost in the opening round 4-2 to the University of Cumberland. Abigail Sims picking up one of those 2 victories for the Lady Warriors. She won her singles match 60-2. The Turkish Basketball League playoffs underway. Zane Knowles and Blackster losing their series opener earlier this week, 75-72. Knowles had a double, 10 points and 12 rebounds. Game 2 is tonight.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Legend. A story that has been passed on for generations.
There was a vacancy at the Boys Industrial School.
Okay.
So I applied for the job and I got it. I remember one incident. There was a big boy, he was 18 at the time, and he was going for the rough fella, you know. And he dipped to the ground for me. I said, "Boy, what's wrong with you? Straighten up." Well, he didn't. He going for my foot, so I had to knock him down.
It's a part of all of our lives. ZNS TV is where we go for information, entertainment, and enjoyment. ZNS is there with something for everyone. ZNS TV, a part of our lives for 40 years.
We get vaccinated for COVID-19. We're not just protecting ourselves. We're also protecting those around us, those who are unable to get vaccinated due to allergies and illnesses. Protection from COVID-19 is critically important because for some persons, it can cause severe illness or even death. During the current global pandemic, vaccination remains critically important to save as many lives as possible. Be sure you are armed with the facts when it comes to the COVID-19 vaccine.
This message has been brought to you by the Government of the Bahamas in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
One of the things that the church must be aware of, that this is no seat time and season for us to get so deep and holy that we can't hail folk who hurting next to us. We can't hail the people in our neighborhood. We can't see how hungry they are. We can't get too deep, brothers and sisters, and so anointed that we forget that if someone hurt you, you gotta forgive them.
Sundays at 8:30 a.m. on ZNS TV 13.
There are many unanswered questions. Why was the sovereignty of the Bahamas attacked? Hello, I'm Beverly Curry, and welcome to The Ultimate Sacrifice, the Flamingo Story.
Princess Margaret Hospital's dialysis unit has implemented enhanced COVID-19 prevention protocols to ensure the safety and health of patients and healthcare staff. Patients are required to wash their hands upon entering the dialysis unit before and after using the bathroom and after treatment. Patients are asked to sanitize their hands in between treatment and as necessary. Staff and patients are required to wear face masks at all times while in the dialysis unit. All shoes should be removed once seated for treatment and placed on the floor beside you. Shoes may be worn again after treatment and in preparation to leave the unit. Patients are asked to bring a pair of socks to be worn during treatment. Patients who prefer to leave their shoes on during treatment must place a shoe cover over their shoes prior to commencing treatment. At no time should patients place the bottom of their shoes on the chair or footrest in the unit. Members of the public are encouraged to follow all health advisories, public service announcements, and updates regarding health and hospital services for important information. This message has been brought to you by the Public Hospitals Authority.
A grand celebration for the female employees here at ZNS headquarters today. The ladies were hosted to a post-Mother's Day celebration. Our colleagues were serenaded, showered with gifts, and given a quick lesson on how to take care of their mental health from guest speaker Ali MacPhail.
It was awesome. I think the executive management and the Human Resources Department, hats off to Deputy General Manager, Mr. Sandra Knows. I think the timing was so fitting, in particular for us women here at the Broadcasting Corporation of Bahamas. We know that the country is still going through a pandemic. A lot of persons are actually kind of stressed. Our speaker, Ali, she was so informative and she highlighted some important points. I am so free today. I am so free. So the event itself was commendable, and I'm looking forward for more in-depth topics ahead. And at HR department, hats off again, like I said, for a tremendous job.
I thought that it was it was just a fabulous expression of love. This is something that we really need in the corporation. As a matter of fact, I remember back in the day we held various social activities that brought the staff together. So today was a wonderful expression of camaraderie.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, we continue to watch that area of low pressure. It's a non-tropical low, some 300 miles to the northeast of Bermuda. It is moving now towards the west-southwest, and it will eventually track back towards the north and then the northeast. So it should not be any problem for us at all, but certainly Bermuda will experience some showers. As you can see, one of those feeder bands already wrapping its way around the Bermuda Island. And then that trough now well to the south of our island, so things will be improving quite nicely. Even the winds will be reducing over the weekend. We'll get them down to some reasonable level come Sunday. And in the Gulf of Mexico, there's yet another area of low pressure. That one will move inland perhaps later on tonight between Texas and Louisiana. Whether it develops or not, it will certainly be a rainmaker as it makes that trek towards the north. Tonight, we're going in for partly cloudy and breezy conditions, low temperature around 73 degrees. And tomorrow, mostly sunny and breezy again with a high temperature around 83 degrees. Your extended weather forecast through the weekend, lots of sunshine. As we told you, the winds will be settling down quite nicely on Sunday, and that will carry right into the early part of next week. And we will keep those daytime temperatures in the mid-80s for you. Rakishna.
Well, thanks, Basil. To get your weekend going, here are some fun facts for you. Unleashed 21 years ago on May 4th, 2000, the love bug virus infected around 45 million computers after victims were lured into opening an email attachment titled "A Love Letter for You." The Disgusting Food Museum in Sweden exhibits odd delicacies, including ice wine infused with dead baby mice from China, haggis from Scotland, and mopane worms from Zimbabwe. The vial containing the first COVID-19 vaccine used in America will go on display at the National Museum of American History in Washington, D.C. And an Indian jeweler designed a ring with 12,638 diamonds. It weighs as much as a baseball. Well, that does it for the Bahamas Tonight. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your #1 news and information network. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team here, thanks for watching and good night.
You're watching the Z.